Did you know that Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee? Yes, indeed. This beloved beverage didn't start in a famous coffee chain but in the wild forests of this East African country. Now, let's take a trip back in time, over 1,000 years ago, to an era where the world was yet to experience the addictive allure of coffee. The rolling hills and lush forests of ancient Ethiopia housed a secret that would later stir the world into a state of caffeine-induced delight. It all began with a humble goat herder named Kaldi. Imagine Kaldi tending to his goats under the Ethiopian sun when he notices something peculiar. His ordinarily calm goats were prancing about in an unusual frenzy. Curious and slightly alarmed, Kaldi investigates and finds the source of this sudden energy burst. A small shrub adorned with bright red berries. Seeing his goat's reaction to these berries, Kaldi tentatively tries some himself and experiences the same rush of energy. Intrigued by this discovery, Kaldi decides to share these magical berries with others. Little did he know, he had just stumbled upon what we now know as coffee cherries. Soon the news of these energizing berries spread throughout the region. Monks began using them to stay awake during long hours of prayer. Travelers carried them on long journeys for a quick energy boost, and thus, the coffee culture began to percolate through the veins of society. Now, it's easy to take our daily cup of coffee for granted, isn't it? But each sip is a testament to the journey this humble bean has taken over the centuries. From the wild forests of Ethiopia to the coffee shops on every corner of the globe. So, next time you enjoy your morning brew, take a moment to appreciate the rich history behind it. Remember Kaldi, the curious goat herder, and his energetic goats who played a pivotal role in the discovery of this beloved beverage. And there you have it, the fascinating origin story of your everyday cup of coffee. So, our everyday cup of joe owes its existence to a goat herder from Ethiopia. From its humble beginnings in the Ethiopian forest, coffee has undergone quite a transformation. Let's take a moment to appreciate the journey this aromatic brew has taken. In the early days, coffee wasn't the sophisticated beverage we know and love today. In fact, it was consumed in a rather primitive and raw way. The people of Ethiopia, where coffee originates, discovered that crushing the berries and combining them with animal fat provided a quick, invigorating energy boost. Imagine that, a coffee snack, long before the advent of coffee-flavored candies or protein bars. But as time went on, the people of Ethiopia started to experiment with these magical beans. They began to roast the beans over an open fire, a process that unlocked the rich, robust flavors we associate with coffee today. The roasted beans were then ground down, a transformation that made them ready for brewing. The process of brewing coffee, however, was not as simple as pouring hot water over the ground beans. It was a ritual, a ceremony, a celebration of the beans' journey from the forest to the cup. The water had to be just the right temperature, the grounds had to steep for just the right amount of time. It was a delicate balance, a dance between the elements of heat, time, and flavor. And then, the moment of truth arrived. The first sip, the first taste of what we now recognize as coffee. It was a revelation, a moment that changed the course of culinary history. The bitter, yet somehow sweet, complex flavors of the brew captivated the senses and awakened the mind. It was, in a word, revolutionary. Over the centuries, the method of brewing coffee has been refined and perfected, but the essence, the spirit of the brew, remains the same. A tribute to its Ethiopian roots, a testament to the power of innovation and experimentation. And that's how the world's favorite morning pick-me-up came to be. Coffee isn't just a drink in Ethiopia, it's a significant part of the culture. In the heart of Ethiopia, coffee is more than a morning or afternoon pick-me-up. It's a time-honored tradition, a ritual that binds communities together, a social event that's as much about the conversation as it is about the brew. This is beautifully encapsulated in the Ethiopian coffee ceremony, an integral part of the country's social and cultural life. The coffee ceremony is a unique Ethiopian custom that involves the ritualized preparation and consumption of coffee. It's an event that takes time, patience, and skill. The ceremony begins with the washing of green coffee beans, followed by roasting them over an open flame. The transformation of these beans into a rich, aromatic brew is a process that's carried out with great reverence. But the beauty of this ceremony lies not just in the brewing but in the sharing. Once the coffee is ready, it's served in small cups and everyone partakes. It's a moment of togetherness, a shared experience that fosters a sense of community. It's a time to catch up on news, discuss community issues, or simply enjoy each other's company. The importance of coffee in Ethiopian culture cannot be overstated. It permeates every aspect of social life. It's present at births, weddings, and funerals. It's a gesture of hospitality, a sign of respect. Offering coffee is not just about serving a drink, it's about acknowledging someone's presence, about creating a space for conversation and connection. In Ethiopia, coffee is not simply consumed, it's experienced. It's a multi-sensory delight. From the smell of the freshly roasted beans to the taste of the brew, from the warmth of the cup in your hands to the sound of friendly chatter. It's a ritual that's as much about the journey as it is about the destination. Coffee in Ethiopia isn't just about caffeine, it's about community. Fast forward to today, and Ethiopian coffee still holds a special place in the world of coffee. Ethiopian coffee, with its rich history and unique brewing methods, continues to stand out in the global coffee scene. The coffee beans from this East African nation are revered for their distinct flavor profiles. Ethiopian coffee beans are typically characterized by their bright acidity and vibrant fruitiness. They can range from sweet and winey, to tart and citrusy, or even floral and tea-like. This wide range of flavors is a result of the country's diverse coffee-growing regions. Each region imparts a unique taste to the beans, much like how the soil in different wine-growing regions affects the taste of the wine. From the spicy and winey flavors of the beans from the Harar region, to the wild and fruity flavors of the Sidamo region, or the floral and tea-like notes of the Yirgacheffe region, the taste of Ethiopian coffee is as diverse as the country itself. But it's not just the flavors that make Ethiopian coffee unique. Traditional Ethiopian coffee preparation methods also add to its allure. Even today, many Ethiopians still use a centuries-old brewing method called the Ethiopian coffee ceremony. This involves roasting the beans over an open fire, grinding them in a mortar and pestle, and brewing the coffee in a clay pot called a jibina. This process, steeped in tradition, adds a level of ritual and reverence to the act of drinking coffee, making it a truly unique experience. Ethiopia's prominence in the world of coffee is not just about flavor and tradition though. The country is also one of the world's top coffee producers and exporters. Despite challenges such as climate change and economic instability, Ethiopia has maintained a strong presence in the global coffee market, contributing significantly to the industry's growth and development. Ethiopian coffee has certainly come a long way from the wild forest where it was first discovered. The journey of Ethiopian coffee, from the ancient forest to the bustling coffee shops of today, is a testament to the enduring appeal and quality of this beloved beverage. As we continue to explore the world of coffee, the story of Ethiopian coffee serves as a reminder of the rich history and diverse flavors that lie within each cup. Now that you know the fascinating history of Ethiopian coffee, wouldn't you love to try it? Imagine a warm, aromatic cup of Ethiopian coffee in your hands. Can you sense the unique, fruity notes and the full-bodied flavor? The experience is as rich as the history of Ethiopian coffee itself. This isn't just any cup of coffee, it's a sip of an ancient tradition, a taste of Ethiopia's proud heritage, a journey back in time to the birthplace of coffee. You might be wondering, how can I get my hands on this delightful brew? Well, let's delve into that. There are specialty coffee shops that offer Ethiopian blends. These are places where the baristas know their beans, and where you can savor the unique characteristics of Ethiopian coffee. You can also find Ethiopian coffee served in traditional Ethiopian ceremonies, a cultural experience that is an absolute must if you have the chance. But what if you want to enjoy this at home? The good news is, Ethiopian coffee beans are just a click away. There are numerous online platforms where you can purchase these beans. Whether you prefer the fruity, wine-like flavors of Yirgacheffe, the spicy and winey notes of Harar, or the full-bodied and earthy taste of Sidamo, there's an Ethiopian coffee out there for you. And as you brew your coffee, remember the care that went into each bean. From the coffee farmers in Ethiopia who hand-pick each coffee cherry, to the traditional methods of drying and roasting, each step is a labor of love. Your cup of coffee is a testament to this dedication and passion, so go ahead and explore. Savor the rich, full-bodied flavor of Ethiopian coffee, let it transport you to the rugged mountains of Ethiopia, to the very birthplace of coffee. And remember, when you sip that rich, full-bodied Ethiopian coffee, you're not just enjoying a great cup of coffee, you're partaking in a centuries-old tradition.